me, Dr. Weber.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all right if I start on the furniture?
Oh, yes, of course. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Have you heard anything about Monica Quartermain today?
No, I haven't heard a word. Let's call and see how she's doing.
That baby's too young to be born and live, isn't it?
Well, they'll do everything they can to prevent a premature birth. Oh. Hi, Jessie. It's Leslie.
Leslie, for heaven's sakes, they give you a day off, and the first thing you do is call in.
Well, I haven't heard from Rick, and I wanted to get the latest on Monica.
Well, Rick's with her now, and I'm happy to say the news so far is very good. She had a comfortable night.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't it, though? Oh, and Dana Hotchkiss cut her vacation short and came back, so Monica's in good hands.
And how about the baby?
Well, he stopped pushing to be born. I don't know really what his hurry was anyway.
Well, that's a nice relief for everyone, then.
Yeah. Dana said they've been very lucky with the baby, and in another 24 hours, Monica should be able to go home.
Oh, I like good news in the morning. Thank you very much, Jessie.
You're welcome. Now relax and have a good day.
I will. Will you ask Rick to call me when there's any further word?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Well, it's all good news so far. Dr. Hotchkiss and Rick are with Monica, and the danger of a premature birth has decreased.
Oh, I'm going to pray for that little baby.
Mm-hmm.
There's just been so much pain going around lately about children.
Yes, there has. I'll get it.
Open the door.
Oh, my goodness gracious, come in. I didn't
Hi,
know
Les.
knowing. Hi.
Hello.
What a lovely surprise. Hello, Joe.
Hope we're not bothering you?
Not bothering me. You're never bothering me. We don't get to see enough of you as it is. Let me have your coat.
Sure. Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Fine, Jeff,
Oh,
just
dear.
fine. Good morning, Mr. Kelly.
Good morning to you, Mrs. Grant.
Les,
Yes.
I know this is probably bad timing right now, but do you think you could spare Mom for a few minutes?
Oh, of course I could.
Why, what's happened? I mean, is it Heather?
No, Mom. Nothing like that. Joe and I just want to ask you a few questions.
Oh, you're going to start that search for Steven Lars, aren't you?
That's right, Mrs. Grant.
Well, take all the time you want. I'm going to leave you all alone.
We won't be too long, Les.
You know, don't you, that my money is on you and your son. I believe you're going to find him.
Thank you, Les. Thanks.
Mrs. Grant, I hope you won't mind answering a few questions for us.
Well, no, of course I won't mind. I mean, why would I?
Joe is considering going to New York again, Mom.
That's what you want to ask me about? I mean, the time that Heather spent in New York?
Yes, ma'am. We'd like to know all you know about the landlady Heather had there.
Mrs. Hadley.
That's right.
She's dead.
I've done some checking, and I may do some more. There are no official records anywhere in New York City to prove that Mrs. Hadley ever died.
See, Mom, we're going on the possibility that Mrs. Hadley might still be alive.
I see.
If she is, she could be a very important key in helping us find your grandson. All we ever learned from Cal Jameson, Mrs. Grant, is that Heather knows where her son is.
Yes. And Heather can't even defend herself and tell Jeff that that is a lie. Now, look what this search has done to so many people already, Jeff. Now, why are you dragging it all up again?
I thought maybe you all might like some hot tea.
Oh, Dr. Weber, let me help you with that.
No. It's time somebody waited on you for a change.
Well, I'm just a little embarrassed about not doing my work,
Don't
ma'am.
be, but there is something you could do for me. I've got to get over to the hospital.
On your day off?
Well, I just have a feeling I might be needed there.
Leslie, bundle up. It's mighty nippy outside.
On my good cape, I'll be plenty
What
warm.
can I do for you?
Well, if you should see Laura, or in fact, you might even try to reach her. Tell her I would like to see her sometime today and find out if maybe she wouldn't even come over to the hospital, perhaps.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see that she gets the message.
It's very good to know that you are always here, ever reliable, and I thank you.
Thanks for the tea, Dr. Weber.
Bye.
See you later.
Can I get back to work now, Mr. Kelly?
Oh, could you give us some more of your time, please? Please, sit down. Ms. Grant, you just asked why Jeff would want to drag out this whole history about his lost son. It's very simple. When a man loves his wife and his son, he wants them to be with him. Now, I'm going to help Jeff find his son, your grandson. And it's possible that when he gets his son back, he may just get his wife back, too.
What do you mean?
Well, she sits all day long staring at that rag doll, believing it to be her son. Maybe when she sees the real Steven Lars, she'll...
No.
Well, it's a possibility that it might just snap her back to reality.
Yes, maybe. I mean, it's a possibility.
Mrs. Grant, do you want to see your grandson again?
Well, of course I do. I mean, yes. Why wouldn't I?
Then why are you refusing to help us?
I'm telling you everything that I know.
Why would you and Heather be so willing to accept the fact that Mrs. Hadley had died without ever checking it out?
Because we had no reason not to accept it. We got the word directly from Frank Wallace. Now, why would we doubt his word when he was Heather's lawyer?
Joe, listen, there's an important thing here that I think you should hear.
Please tell me. I'd like to hear it.
Well, Steve and I had planned to go down to New York and talk to Mrs. Hadley, ask her some questions. And then Heather told us that Mrs. Hadley had died.
Heather knew this, and she'd never told either of you.
That's right.
That didn't make you at all suspicious?
No, it didn't. Not at the moment.
Well, did she ever mention why she'd never talked about it?
Yeah. She said that because Mrs. Hadley was such a wicked old woman that she just wanted to forget about her after that Wallace said that she was dead.
Now, you see, Mrs. Grant, that is exactly the kind of thing that is bugging me. There are little pieces of information that if I take the time, and if I'm lucky enough, I can sift them out. How do you expect me to help you find your grandson if you won't help me? Are you or are you not going to tell me all you know so that I can find Steven Lars?
Joe, come on, will you knock it off? You're starting to treat her like she's to blame for everything, and she's not, so I won't let you do that. Stop it, all right?
Jeff, he's right.
Mom.
No, it is my fault. Everything. Mr. Kelly is right. And may God forgive me.
Jeff, she knows something and she's not telling us, whether you like it or not.
Kelly, you want to tell me who the hell you think you are talking to my mother-in-law like that, huh? What, are you God all of a sudden? You seem to be passing judgment like you've been given authorization by the heavenly host.
Come on, Jeff, don't be so blind.
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose I am blind compared to the all-knowing, all-seeing you, but you remember something, mister. I've been through this whole family history. You're the outsider. You're the stranger here.
All right, fine. But it just might, that because I'm an objective outsider, that I'm seeing this family history a bit better than you are. I'm telling you, there is no way Heather could have done what she did for as long as she did without Mrs. Grant knowing something was wrong, or at least suspecting that something was wrong. At the very least, I am certain that she is holding something back. She is not being frank with us. She is not being open. And yes, it does. That puzzles me, because I would think she would want to help us.
All right, okay. I admit that more than once she's been a little evasive and nervous. But, Joe, you're not trying to tell me that she knows where Steven Lars is, are you?
That's the question.
Well?
Jeff, Mr. Kelly. The Webbers employ me here as a housekeeper, and I do have work to do, so I wonder if you would be kind enough to let me get on with my job.
Yeah, sure, Mom. We're sorry.
Before you go, I just want to say that I hope that you both are pleased with what you've done to me today. Heather is my daughter. And you, Mr. Kelly, you've been talking about her as though she's a criminal, and I don't like it. Just don't like it.
Mrs. Grant, I only came here to find
Joe, we gotta knock it off. Just knock it off, okay? Mom. Look, I'm sorry. I know that you're not to blame for any of this. And you've been the rock that I've hung on to through all this. I don't know what I would have done without you. You've helped me keep my head through all this madness.
Oh, Jeff.